Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Jay Jennings here from your Baldwin Realtors MLS support team. Welcome to our third installment of MVT, your MLS video training series. We are trying to reach out to you as you are trying to adapt with the coronavirus. We are trying to provide new and unique ways to deliver MLS content and training sessions to keep you guys engaged, keep you fresh, and hopefully exchange some good ideas with your buyers and sellers. So again, thank you for joining us. Today's class is going to be 5 ways to CMA. So we are going to be able to touch upon some of the different existing free member benefit tools that we have in place currently as an MLS member that you can go out there and kind of breeze. If you haven't seen all the different products out there yet, today's your chance. You get to kind of see a quick little overview of everything, because the way I like to look at this and the different tools we have for doing CMAs, it's kind of like maybe like a cell phone provider. They all pretty much do the same thing. You pick up the phone, you dial it, it gets you there, you text, right? But they all look a little bit, feel a little bit different, and how you make a call or how that texting screen looks, whatever. So basically it's the same thing for CMAs, but let's take a look at each one and see if there's a good fit for you, okay? And which fit is a good fit for your client. Because again, they look different, they present different, and each product, again, has a little bit different of a delivery method that would probably work better for some people than it wouldn't for others. So we are glad you're here today. Please continue to stay safe, but if you feel these are helpful, please let us know. Give us comments, questions, concerns about what we're delivering here, and we will try and tailor new and exciting content. We will have another class coming up this Thursday morning at 10 a.m. about how to connect with clients using Homesnap. We'll have some other twice a week at least, we'll have new classes and little tiny tidbits of specialty courses that hopefully, maybe 5-10 minutes to keep you, again, engaged. So again, thank you for being here. Don't forget, invite a friend, all right? Share this with a broker or an office admin that says, hey, we're Baldwin Realtors are putting out these courses. Put an email out to folks in your office, and hopefully they can share and find some benefit to this as well. And thank you for doing that in advance. So what I'm working on today, like I said, you should see the screen, 5 ways to CMA. Here's what we'll be covering. We're going to be looking at the RPR product and how to do a CMA through that product. We'll do a hands-on CMA using the Paragon tool. We'll look at their CMA preference wizard as well, so it'll help you save time when you're creating future CMAs, remove some of the redundancies in that process. Homesnap's rapid CMA tool, that's a pretty cool one. We'll see, maybe good for agents who are on the fly in the field, and when we get back to a normal schedule, right, when you're out and about in public, but again, you don't need to be in front of a home using Homesnap's tool, but you can just type in an address and we'll show you how that product works. Pretty slick. We are also going to look at a video on CRS's CMA tool. So again, these are all readily available to you as free member benefits. And then we're going to wrap up with a little bit of bonus time. I'm going to show you how to do a 2-minute CMA on the fly out the door. And sometimes you never know when you get that phone call, somebody walks in the office and say, shoot it to me straight, I'm ready to sit down, tell me what you got. You'll be able to do that by the end of this class. So if you have any questions, please, you can hit at the bottom of your screen on the Zoom tool, you can hit raise your hand or chat. Any of your questions I will address through each form, but I think we'll move a little bit faster and a little bit smoother, because we've got 5 different things to look at that I'll come back and look at those questions and reach out to you folks individually in answering those questions that you do have. By the way, you can also email that to me if you would like at jay@baldwinrealtors.com. Okay, so we got all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. All right, let me, I'm going to give you some links too, by the way. When we're done, I'm going to email everybody. You can request those links, but I'm going to show you a way that on your own time, you can go out and access some really great data, tutorials, webinars scheduled up that are professionally produced, that I think you can watch these things on your own time. So you don't have to sit down on a Thursday at 10 a.m. to 10:30. You can access this information whenever it's convenient for you, whether it's 10 in the morning or 10 at night. It's always there, and I'm going to be able to provide you those links for all the different products that we support. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to switch on over to RPR. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. Oh, thank you. Give me 1 second here, guys. I know you're being patient here with me. I'm gonna get that screen pulled up. There we go. All right. Okay, perfect. So you should be now seeing pricing a property in RPR. I'm going to expand the screen. We're going to watch this video about a little bit over 5 minutes, whatever, but this is RPR's product on a CMA.
In this video, we'll walk you through pricing a property on RPR, from using the RVM, RPR's automated valuation model, to refining the value of a property, choosing comps, and creating a CMA. Let's get started. From RPR's homepage, search for your subject property. Hit enter and your property details page will appear. One of the first things you'll notice is the Realtor Valuation Model, or RVM. The RVM estimates displayed are the product of multiple automated valuation models, each using proprietary algorithms and arriving at its own estimate. The RVM can be a great starting point for pricing discussions with clients. RPR's RVM goes beyond traditional automated values by incorporating listing and sales data into the equation. The RVM is accompanied by a 5-star confidence score. A 5 indicates that different automated valuation models yield similar estimates for this property. Now let's move on to refine value and comp analysis, tools designed to further determine price. Every property details page has a refine tool. Start by reviewing the basic facts of the subject property. If one of the property characteristics needs to be corrected, such as living area, bedrooms, full baths, or year built, enter the updated value and the property's valuation will adjust. Next, refine the property's value for home upgrades. From the drop-down, choose the type of home improvement, enter the completion date and cost. Upgrade values are calculated using the date of the improvement and pricing information from Hanley Wood that has been refactored by RPR at a local level. Here, subtract the cost of needed improvements from the refined value of a home. It's useful when helping homeowners to consider the monetary effect necessary repairs will have on the property's value. Now use the sliders to adjust value based on local market conditions and how the property relates to comparable properties like home exterior and interior, lot size, view, and privacy. At the top of the refined value page, see how these refinements change the estimated value. Next, up to pricing your property, you'll want to perform a CMA. Do this by visiting the Comp Analysis tab. RPR's Comp Analysis offers a step-by-step wizard that walks you through the process of validating basic facts about a subject property, selecting comparable properties, and then adjusting those comps to yield a price and price range for the home. Let's go ahead and create a comp analysis. To begin, press the blue Confirm Home Facts button on the Comp Analysis page. This is where you'll verify or modify the property's basic characteristics such as living area and number of rooms. The facts you change are highlighted in blue. Once you've made your changes, select Confirm Facts and close. A checkmark and confirmation will appear where you've completed the first step. Next, choose Find Comps. If you already have a specific property in mind, enter its street address here. Otherwise, use the search criteria to the left of the map. This criteria will auto-populate based on the subject property characteristics, but can easily be changed to meet your needs. Narrow your search based on sales timeframe, property status, active listing off market, recently sold, distress status, beds and baths, your living area, and many other parameters to really fine-tune your search. To add geographic search restrictions, use the search tools directly above the map, such as custom areas or geographic boundary overlays like zip or school district. After choosing search, the results will display below the map. Comps returned in this search that were also used in the AVM or RVM calculation are flagged with the blue star, but are not weighted differently than any other comparable property. Now check each of the properties you want to include in your analysis. As you select each comparable, it will be added to the sidebar list of selected comps. Once you're satisfied with your comp selection, choose Update Valuation and close. The average price of your comps will appear at step 2 with the ability to edit if you want to make any changes to your comp selection. Next, we'll adjust the comps in comparison to the subject property. Here, the comps you selected are presented in a grid. Specify which order you'd like them to appear in your reports. Choose from the drop-down to change the order, or click Remove to remove the property from your comps list. Use the sliders to rate each comp relative to your subject property. This adjusts the weighting of the comps in the analysis. Decide whether the property is worse, the same, or better than your subject property. Your changes are previewed on this page so you can see their effect before completing them. When finished, select Update Valuation and close. Your adjustments will now show on step 3 with the ability to edit the result if you choose. Your final step before generating a seller's report is to review your result. To override the valuation result, enter your own value or round the suggested price up or down. Also choose to keep the value range or edit remove altogether. If you bypass this step, the comp analysis result from step 3 will appear in your report. The result will also appear on the Summary tab of the Property Details page. If you complete step 4, the new value and range will appear in those locations. Now you're ready to generate the seller's report. The report reviews the subject property, shows the condition of the local market, presents comparable properties for side-by-side comparisons, includes a pricing strategy, and a worksheet for estimated seller proceeds. Select Create Report to be directed to the report's generation page. Choose More Details to identify which elements to include or omit in the report. The seller's report is a very comprehensive report that can span over 80 pages. Omit any sections you don't think your client would be interested in at this time to make the report more digestible. Also choose whether to suppress the estimated value for the subject property and/or the estimated value for the comps. On the right side of the page, choose which cover page elements to include. Personalize the report if you intend to send it directly to your client. Choose your delivery method and select Run Report. Now you have a perfectly priced property with the best deliverable to send to your client.
Okay, guys, so there is a lot going on in RPR CMA, right? So again, we just touched upon it because we have a class that it's an hour and a half if we needed to go into that. There's just a very, very detailed CMA and has some great back-end tools into that in my recommendation, you just need to go out there and just kind of play with it. You can't really break it, but go out there and look at all the different features and tools that can go into a very dynamic CMA. So it's great. It's also got an RPR mobile app that you can use. Same functionality. So when you create a CMA, whether it's on your smart tab, or your smartphone or your tablet, it'll show up the same way when you go to your home office and your desktop or your laptop is waiting for you there. So some of the same features that the Paragon CMA works at, but that's how I'm going to kind of structure today's class. We're going to go to very technical, and we're going to work our way down to, this is maybe a little bit easier process to use. So again, we're going to go from a very detailed, like they said in the RPR video, up to an 80-page seller's report and CMA. We're going to go to Paragon, okay? We're going to go to CRS, and then we're finally going to Homesnap, and then we'll go our 2-minute CMA. So you should now be seeing my home screen for Paragon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to kick off a CMA using the Paragon tool. So hopefully you can see my cursor okay. And you can see up at the very top of the page all the different icons, obviously, that you're used to be seeing by now. I'm going to do the CMA icon. I'm going to click on that and there'll be a drop down. On the left-hand side, you're going to see that I can create a presentation. I can go to I can work on a saved presentation, or I can work on my CMA preferences wizard. I would recommend doing that ahead of time, just to kind of get some of your emails and some of your settings done, so you like the way it looks and different reporting features. If you go through that, it probably takes about maybe 6-7 minutes, but it'll save you some time in the long run by getting that done ahead of time. In the second column, if you ever wanted to add a subject property ahead of time that you could always add into a CMA, you could do that based on all the different classes we have available. And if you ever need to maintain that subject property down here at the bottom, you would do that. But let's go ahead and just kick off right here. Let's create a CMA presentation. It's going to walk you through the steps, step by step. So we're going to go, it's going to say, welcome to the CMA wizard. It's going to ask you to create a name. And then in the left-hand column here, the more I get done into this field and click next in the upper right-hand corner, the green next button, it's going to work down this ladder of steps. And the reason I point that out is because it gets to a point in step 5 in the presentation setup where the bulk of your CMA data is going to be. If you ever wanted to go back, let's say to this very first screen and rename your CMA, you don't have to hit this. Will be a red back button. You wouldn't have to hit that 30-40 times. You could just move up and down this ladder and navigate that way. So just wanted to point that out. So in class the other day, we were working with some famous people. We're going to continue working with, because I know you guys are fighters out there. So with Rocky Balboa is going to sell the home, right? So that we worked with him as a buyer, and now he's ready to sell this thing. So Rocky Balboa, since he's in Rocky, let's put him in Rock Creek. How about that? All right, so here we go. Oh, we got somebody raising their hand here. Let me see if we can find that for you. Give me 1 second. Okay, so it looks like we have a question here. We have a different view, and I can't hear anything. Hopefully everybody else, that's the first comment I heard about not being able to hear anything. I would look at something on your speaker settings, make sure the right output is out there. So with that being said, I'm going to hit continue. I've named my CMA wizard. Let's hit continue. Okay, so it's prompting me along the way now to create my subject property. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, right here on the second option, if I already created that subject property, I would click on there and pick from a list. All right. So, and again, the very bottom one, if you were working with an existing MLS listing, you could do that, but we're going to create something new and on the fly by creating a new subject property. Okay. So it's going to ask me what class is it? This is going to be a residential single family. All right. This is the tax autofill tool. So this is going to help me find the right property very quickly. You'll see that there is one red R for Baldwin County. I'm going to put that in. I am going to go find a particular street. So in this one, it's going to say it's 203 Liberty Street. I'll type in the street name there. I could type in the owner's last name to find it, but let's type in 203. We can see that there's at least 30 properties in Baldwin County that has a street number of 203, but let's put in street name and Liberty, right? Pennsylvania, right? And look at there, there just happens to be one listing at 203 Liberty. So let's do a search. There's our property, 203 Liberty Street in Fairhope. So let's just click on this one. All right, I click the checkbox in the front of that line item for that property. I am now going to go to autofill right here. It's going to pull in all the tax data, and it's loading it right now. You can scan this to see if it looks good. One thing you may or may not want to do is you can remove the seller's name, but let's remove it because we're working with Rocky Balboa, right? We don't want to confuse anybody, right? So let's hit save. Okay, so here's our screen. Well, what did that do? you would go down and you look in your property details container, and you can see everything from the tax record is now pulled in. PPIN number, lot number description, address, everything you need in there. But let me show you what happens here. Check the chat here real quick again. Okay, thanks. Sounds like we got the volume back in order. So look what happens now if I try and save this subject property in this green button, okay? I'm gonna get a warning error, but I wanna point this out ahead of time to you. It says property type is a required field. So I'll just go in here, it'll highlight that field for me. This is going to be a home, a detached residential, right? So I'm clicking on that. This is not a condo or a duplex or anything. I'll fill that in and I'll hit save subject property, okay? So this is somebody else's laptop I'm using today, so there's not any photos in here, but if I wanted to make it look really nice and professional, this is where you would add the photo of the home ahead of time. You would click on add edit photo and you go into your pictures folder and drop that in there. But I don't have that today. So let's just move forward. And there we go. Okay, there's all our property, and we're just gonna click on next. Right here, the green next button. And like I pointed out before, every time I hit next, you'll look on the left-hand side, it keeps dropping me down that list. So it's asking me now to select a client. If I already had a client, in the second option here, I could click on that. And these are all the clients I have existing in my contact base, but I don't, oh, actually I do. Here, I created Rocky Balboa the other day. So I'm gonna click on that. Good, that one's done. Otherwise, you would have hit create contact and just typed in their name, first name, last name, and an email address, okay, and then hit save. So now that I have Rocky in there, I'm going to hit next, and so to keep moving me down the list. It is now going to ask that, all right, that I create comparables, okay? So let's take a look at there, and I'm going to keep selecting residential single family, all right, or I could search by address search. All right, let's go ahead and let's do residential single family. Okay, so in this situation, I want to look at closed properties. So I'm going to change my property status field. I'm going to get rid of what I have in my default, and I'm going to change that to closed. Okay, I could type it in there, or I could just look at going into the eyeglass there. Okay, so I'm looking at closed. I want to look at a date range. Let's say the last 90 days back. Okay. And I want to look in Rock Creek. So I'm going to go down to subdivision here. Okay, and let's say there was 5 closed homes right here in Rock Creek in the last 90 days. I could keep adding more and more details if I wanted to, guys. Bedrooms, whatever, if it was a fence, whatever we're looking for. But because we have 3 other ones to go through today, I'm going to go with this list. I'm going to hit search, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the 5 properties we picked and say, okay, well, here's one at the bottom that was closed for 1.2 million. Here's one at 640, 467. Let's try and pick the first 3 to use as comps to say that could be our closest range based on our subject property. So I've clicked each one of the homes in the box to the far left of what I want to use as comps. So I've picked the first 3, okay? Now that I've selected that, I'm going to go to add to CMA. Okay, so let me do that. And it's going to come up with a text box. This 3 selected, yes. Should I pick all 5 that came up in your in your search, or the current listing that I'm on? But look, I want the selected 3. I've already pre-selected it. That's what I want. So let's hit select. Okay, so we are now there. It has now pulled it into the comps. Okay, they're all 3 are there, which is great. We can continue to hit next. Okay. Calculated adjustments, this is a new feature that I'm going to skip over here and just go to next, and I'll tell you why in a second here. This is adjustments here. This is the one I'm more comfortable using based on the CMAs I've created in Paragon. But let me show you why, how this field works differently, and how you could make some changes to the value of all the comps that you selected. Right now, this is comp 1 of 3, this property right here. There is no image for my subject property. Remember, I never entered one, but we are working on comp number 3, a 1 of 3. So we could go up and down. As it stands right now, the close price was at $390,000. All right, we can look at all the different features and see if we wanted to make any adjustments. If, let's say this one's fine, you want to go to the second comp. Let's go to hit next, and now you'll see we're working 2 of 3. There's that comps. So let's say something unique about this one is that it has a feature that the other ones don't have. You can see by scrolling up and down all the different fields that are in there. Utilities, bedrooms, baths, lot size. All right, you can make adjustments to that. But if you want to make a manual adjustment to something that you don't see into there, you can go and click manual adjust. So let's click on there and say, you know what, maybe there's a chair lift, that the previous owner put in. So I'm going to put in chair lift at the bottom left here. I'm going to hit enter or tab. And I think that this one it's an additional, let's say it's worth $22,000 to install that. So I'm going to put $22,000. And what I want you to notice, right now the adjusted price is $393,000. But as soon as I hit enter or tab for adding to $22,000, you can now see that raised it up to $415,000. Okay, so let's say there was something on the next comp that, let's say for whatever reason, let's take a look at one of the baths, let's say had water damage. Okay, and that needs to be fixed. You could actually type in there minus, and let's say it's going to cost $12,500 to fix. Okay, I'm going to put minus $12,500. Right now it's $467,500, the price. I hit enter, and it's now dropped it to that $12,500 to $455. Okay, so when you're done making your comps, all right, you're all set. Let's hit next. Okay, now it's kind of just a preference thing. What do you like to see? This is a modern layout for your cover page in layout. I can click to vivid, all right? Just a different look and feel, guys. So just kind of see which ones you like. I'm just going to leave it on contemporary, all right? That's how it's going to look when it displays. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to move this out of the way real quick here, All right, here's a footer opportunity. So if you wanted to put something at the bottom of each page of the CMA, you could type in wherever you wanted to. Thank you for the opportunity to sell your home. All right, put in your company website, your website. If you wanted a picture or a logo on each one, you might as well, you work hard, might as well brand it to you. Okay, so include logo, include picture. Okay, let's hit next. And we keep moving our way down. You can see on the left-hand column, we keep moving down the line. A little disclaimer, this information is deemed reliable but not guaranteed. Never can hurt to throw that disclaimer in there. Now we're going to get, when we hit next, again, we're getting to step 5. Let me slide down this tool. You can see right now in step 5, that's the bulk of our CMA presentation. So anytime you want anything in there, you can take a look at it. So right now we're on cover page. Take a look at the preview page right above there. Okay, so, all right, that looks good. All our information, again, we would have a photo in there, but it's prepare for Rocky Balboa. All right, so if you want a cover page, click on cover page. You're gonna have to click on anything you want at this point, okay? So if you wanted a cover letter, an agent resume, all right, let's just go through all that. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to go through some of the more important ones. All right, but agent resume, you can talk about how great you are, right? I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, right? Company info, All right, subject property details. That's going to probably be a good one, right? So let's leave that one on there. Let's talk about that person's subject property. All right, if you want to look at that one, you can hit preview page. All right, scroll down, and it's just an overview of the property. Approximate living area, bed, bath, okay. Let's go to next and move down to summary of adjustments. All right, that's important because we made changes here, $22,000 for the chairlift, and we put minus 12.5 for some water damage in another property. So I'd want that one in there. That's important calculation. All right. The next two, you'll see comparable report, horizontal and vertical, preference only again, guys, but let's go hit next. Let's take a look at the horizontal report and hit preview page. Okay, so basically all the properties are lining up horizontally for the subject property on top and the other properties lining below, okay? If you like it, vertical, they'd just be in long columns instead of horizontal strips. I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, so let's hit next. Move our way down. There's our CMA summary. Let's take a look at that one. Preview page. Okay, that's going to be some pretty important numbers right there, guys, right? Here's the averages of all the homes that we picked. List price, days on market, listed price per square foot, sales price per square foot. All right, and the average of that living area, big numbers there. That's what we're looking for. That's the important stuff. So I'm going to click on CMA summary, right? That's the one I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and take a look at this next one here. Property status, comparable property statistics, excuse me. All right. There we go. If you have engineers, they love bar graphs. That may be a good one. And finally, let's look at one more before we move on in creating the CMA, okay? Let's say I'm on comparable price analysis. I want to use the average median price here. Okay, we can click on that. Let's take a look at the preview page. Okay, I always like in the Paragon CMA to end up on comparable price analysis. Again, it's just, let me click on it. And let me show you why when I click on preview page, because at the bottom of this one, they're saying that's the suggested list price. And again, you can run it up to $3.99, whatever marketing purposes, but gives you, that's the number, that's the magic number everybody's looking for. Price per square foot, and what do I list it for, right? So that's a good one, comparable price analysis. But let's say I'm good, I'm happy. We can show you that there's a bunch of other filler stuff. The reason, what's the value of a real estate professional, moving list, marketing, what's the intelligent pricing if you price too high, things of that nature. You can add that in for first-time home sellers. You don't know, whatever. A lot of good information in there. Some of it may be trivial. It's up to you. So, but what I want to do now is I'm done. I think I'm good. I'm going to generate my presentation right here. So now that I've done that, it's just going to walk me through it. Need to generate my CMA. I'm going to hit start. It's working on it. And we got it. So right now it's pulling up everything that we've added in there. And you have a nice little, this is going to be a 6-page CMA for all the things that I've picked. So there's the cover page that I picked. There's the subject property detail page. All right, summary of my adjustments that I made on the 2 different properties. Okay, and you can see, let me go back up here real quick. There is, let me get my screen out of the way. There's my logo, my photo, and my footer. All right, on the bottom of each page as well, just to show you that that did pull in. There's my summary report for all the comps. And finally, there's our bar graph for comparable property, right? And the last one, comparable price analysis. Okay, so that's good. So with suggested list price, we got it. So if you ever wanted to work on that, let me just close out of this. There we go. All right, there it is, Rocky Balboa, Rock Creek. But if you ever wanted to, let's say you're logging in for the first time, I would go to CMA, icon right here. Let's go to Save Presentations. And there it is, Rocky Balboa, Rock Creek. You could just click on that, start from the beginning again, and work your way down by either hitting next or working your way down the ladder and add or remove whatever features of that CMA that you would want, okay? So again, we're working our way down to very detailed. Like I said, we could spend a lot of time on RPR, and we did spend a few more minutes on the CMA for Paragon. All right, so let me show you working, let's transition over to CRS, CMA. So you would click on tax. I'm actually gonna have a little video roll on this one. You're probably getting tired of hearing my voice, but we'll look at a nice little video here. It's about 4 minutes long. But we would go to tax, CRS, data tax search. And that's how we would start the process off. But before I get too far ahead, let me go ahead and, 1 moment, please. Let's get down here. Okay. Okay, let's get that video going.
Comparable search is designed to help you create targeted and refined comparable results. With this feature, you can get extremely specific based on property characteristics or location. We'll walk through all the options together. To get started, you'll want to pull up the property report for your subject property. On the report, hover over the Comparables tab. You'll see options for both comparables and custom comparables. Simply select Custom Comparables to begin. When the comparable search page appears, you'll see your subject property's address in 3 search categories. These include location, property value, and property characteristics. Let's take a close look at our location category. Here, you choose your geospecific area using radius around your subject, zip code, or even multiple subdivisions. You have complete control to define where, within the county selected, your comparable property should be located. You can even use a census tract, a range of parcel IDs or map numbers. Property value is another category to help refine your results even further. If you're seeking comparables that fall within a specific value range, you can enter those values in the last sales price boxes. You can even search based on the date of last sale, your appraisal value range, improvement value range, and or taxed land value range. The option to exclude multi-parcel sales helps ensure on the front end that these sales, which could skew your comparisons, are excluded. Now we'll take a moment to explore the characteristics category. This is your area to specify the comparable properties you'd like to produce based on property type, improvement type, land use, exterior wall, and even extra features like a pool or a detached garage. You can get as detailed as outlining the year your comparable properties were built and the acreage range or number of bedrooms and stories. This is an important section to help ensure that your comparable property results are truly comparing apples to apples, so to speak. Now, I'm sure you've noticed the number of submit buttons throughout your page. Once you've specified all your search criteria, simply select any of the submit buttons. As you can see, your results page is very easy to navigate. Notice on the left side, you can further narrow down your search criteria. So even after you've created your results, it's not too late if you've forgotten something or need to add an additional specification to create better comps. If it's easier to view your results on a map to see exactly where they are, simply select the map view. In your results list below the map, your subject property is at the top with your comparables listed below. To view specific details of our subject and comparable properties, select Custom Results. You can change which columns and their order within the list in Profile and Settings. under the Custom Comps results list. Additionally, you'll find a table of calculations. This table was designed to provide a simplified summary of the average and median, high and low values for last sale price, last tax appraisal, square feet, and acreage. This summary provides a quick snapshot to show you the bigger picture when it comes to digesting all your data and results. Lastly, to create a comparables report with estimated market prices using your subject and comparable properties, select Comparables Report. Good luck using this rich feature to create a thorough and reliable comps list for any subject property.
Okay, guys, so again, you can see a lot of different tools, a lot of different ways to go about creating CMAs. So, but now we're working, we got 3 out of 5 knocked out. This one is just 3 minutes long, and then we'll show you how to do a 2-minute CMA. So it's almost about 3:41 right now. We should be out of here very close to 3:45 and get you on your way. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at a rapid CMA using the Homesnap tool. All right, so this is assuming you've already uploaded the Homesnap app and then upgraded to the Homesnap Pro version. Once it asks you if you are a real estate agent, confirm you that you are an active member with us, automatically upgrade you to Homesnap Pro. Once you have that up, I'll have a link for you where not only how to get Homesnap Pro if you don't already have it, but how to create a. So let's take a look at that.
With Homesnap's Rapid CMA, agents can create a fully formatted CMA for any 60 seconds. These are typically anywhere from 30 to 75 pages and are to follow up with your leads or to justify a value to an existing client. To generate and send a rapid CMA, open up Property in Homesnap and scroll until you see Agent Actions. Rapid CMAs are marked as an agent-only tool and therefore denoted with a yellow pro symbol. Once here, tap Send a Rapid CMA. Homesnap will give agents the ability to edit the property details, such as type, beds, bath, price, and year built. The details that you set will be used to recommend comparable listings, and the price you set here will be displayed prominently in your final report. Please note if this is an active listing, the details of this home, such as beds, baths, and price point, will be accurate from your MLS. However, if you're running a CMA on an off-the-market home, you may have more up-to-date information and are welcome to tailor the filters to create a more accurate CMA. Once you've confirmed the details, select Next Step. Homesnap will prompt you to choose up to 3 similar listings from our recommendations. Pick the listings that best match, or you can select Next Step at the bottom of the screen. When reviewing your options, you can tap any photos to review the complete listing details. If this listing is a good match, then select Listing. This can be repeated for up to 3 listings total. Remember, any listing you pick will appear in your report. Once you're done, choose Next Step. You will now be prompted to select up to 3 recent sales from our recommendations. Again, you can tap any property to review the complete listing details. Circles you want to be included into your rapid CMA. Select Next Step. Now it's time to select your lead or client you want to send the CMA to, along with a personalized message. Enter their email and then type your personalized message below. Use the space to justify the price you set for the subject property and anything else you may want to include. This message will appear in your final report alongside the subject property details. When you're ready, tap Create Your Rapid CMA. Anytime you send a CMA, Homesnap automatically emails a copy of the CMA to your MLS associated email. If you want to review the report before sending it to your client or lead, leave the recipient box blank. If you do this, Homesnap will only send the rapid CMA to your agent email. After the CMA is complete, you're able to review the report. You can additionally share this report by selecting the icon at the bottom right-hand side. Or to share the report directly in Homesnap, First tap Done on the top left-hand side of your app. Then Send in a Message. Once you tap Send in a Message, Homesnap will open up options for you to send to any of your leads or clients.
Okay, so there we go. That's Homesnap. Again, little different format, but at the end of the day, you're going to get a CMA out the door. This one could be done fairly quickly because it's picking comps within a radius of the subject property for you for not only sold but for active listings. So different format, but pretty slick. So we're at the end of the presentation, so I'm going to, we're going to knock out the 2-minute CMA, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at some links on how you can get the information so you can look at these tutorials at your own time, in your own time. And then again, just email me if you would like those links to all the different training tutorials that RPR, Homesnap, and everybody offers. So let's get to it. Let's go back to Paragon. All right. Okay, so we're at our homepage. I'm gonna open this up. Okay, so let's do our 2-minute CMA. This is gonna be without a subject property, but if somebody walked in your office and said, I'm ready to list my house, I need to know what it's worth right now, here's how you do it, okay? Let's go ahead and do search icon. We're going to pick residential single family. We are going to do like we did before. We are going to change our property status to a closed status. All right, I can do it there or hit the eyeglass. We'll hit closed and hit save. Okay, let's go for a date range. Let's go for last 6. Let's just go last 6 months and see what that comes up with. And let's say what subdivision the person lives in, or let's say it was a condo. Let's type that in next and say, all right, this one was Craft Farms North. Okay, 32. So I might want to change 6 months to 30 days. There's 7. All right, let's hit search. Let's pick 3 comps that we like the most. Let's say that one went at 314.9, 314.650, and then 318. The first 3 I'm picking again. All right, I'm going to hit checked right there. So I am now looking at just those 3 that I picked. Now here's how we get our CMA done, right? We're only 1 minute into this thing. I'm going to move over to property reports. Let me get something out of my screen here. I'm gonna go to property reports, drop down and go to CMA summary. There is your CMA, guys, okay? So it's now it's selected those 3 comps. It's going to give you average living area, average days on market, average list price per square foot, the sales price, and the average sales price per square foot. Just like that. So all we did was we picked our comps, we went to reports, and we selected CMA summary. You will see at the bottom of your reports, there's a CMA folder. If you haven't brought that up to your favorites yet, you could do that, or just click on that CMA summary. And if you ever wanted to, just to be real, there's another report, CMA quick view. So it's just lined up in a vertical fashion, the 3 comps. So there you have it, guys. That's how you do a 2-minute CMA in Paragon. Pretty slick, right? So just wanted to make sure I wanted to share that with you. So pick the 3 comps, go to your reports, and check on CMA summary report. Let's wrap this thing up. I'm actually just email me if you guys need to see any of the links that I was working on. Let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, there we go. So there's some links to the information. Again, email me jay@baldwinrealtors.com. We'll be more than happy to get you these links. And there's a ton of good stuff out there, guys. I know that you have more time maybe at home to look at these things than you normally would be. These are great opportunities to sharpen skills and learn some new features about, again, the free member benefits that we offer. In the same link, if you want this information, I have MLS vendor support information to reach out to Paragon, Homesnap, RPR, and CRS. And then also finally how to reach out to myself or Garrett Eichner, who's on board with us helping on the IT side of MLS support. So guys, thank you. It's we got about 50 minutes in today. Again, we'll have another event coming up that will be a little bit shorter, more succinct on using Homesnap, connecting with clients. I think you'll be pretty excited how to do that, but thank you for your time. I'll look for your questions in an email or in chat, and I'll be reaching out to you on an individual basis. Guys, please be safe out there, and we look forward to working with you again real soon. Let's see, I got one question that popped up here. The question was, do you have to join Homesnap Pro to do a CMA? Yes, you would have to be Homesnap Pro to do a rapid CMA. So hopefully that, again, I'll look for other questions in my inbox. Have a great day, guys, and be safe.